Hi, welcome to a video on IELTS listening. Now, very often when compared to the different question types that appear in the listening test, many students have problems while solving maps. In this video, I'm going to try and tell you why that's a big challenge to students, and I will also show you steps to tackle those challenges. So let's get straight into the video and find out more about IELTS listening solving maps. Now here on screen you can see an example of a map. Now why do students find these maps challenging? Now the example that you can see on screen is of Fale House. You can see that the cardinal points, the points on a compass, north, east, west, south are most often marked on a map. Now remember, if it is not already given on the map, you just need to mark it out with your pencil or pen. In a map, you also have lots of letters given, right? Here, for instance, we can see A, B, C, D, E, F, G and H. And we have certain marked areas like the car park, for instance. We have old stables written, house, and we have the words lake given. We can also see trees. These could be forests, these could be orchards, maybe garden, we're not sure. But these are the different things that we can see on a map. For any map, for instance, you will see these kind of things marked. And that is why students get it very confusing, because they're unable to identify these letters, and very often you have questions marked here. For instance, there might be names of certain buildings or landmarks given here. Let's just take a random example. Let's say one is a library. Okay, so we have, then probably we have a shop, we have a cafe. Okay, so the idea is to find out where these things are located in this particular map. For instance, out of these letters given, A to GH, which is a library? Is it A, is it D, or shop? Which is a shop here? So we have to follow certain instructions that we listen, and for an IELTS listening map, it's always a single voice that you will listen to. It could either be a male or a female voice. Now this person would be guiding us through this map. There's always a starting point for a map. For instance, it could be the car park. If there is an entrance marked here, the entrance could be the starting point. So always mark the starting point of your map. Okay. Now once you've marked the starting point, it becomes so much easier to follow the instructions. Now it might ask you to go straight, then left, then right, and all of those things, opposite, in front of. So if you're able to master these words that are used in a map more often that you see and hear, and you're able to follow those instructions carefully, you can easily solve a map. Okay, so that's what I'm going to try and provide and help you with in this video. Now here the same map, but I'm going to show you certain words that you might hear when listening to the description of this Fale house. At the bottom of the map, like I said, it always begins at a starting point. They might say at the bottom of the map, or if there's an entrance, they might say let's begin from the entrance, or in this case it could also be the car park. So at the bottom of the map or even at the top of the map are words that you should be familiar with. If we look at another example, far corner on the left. Okay, so this is an example of far corner on the left. Let's look at another example. On the right as you go on the right. As you go on the right. What else? On the far side of the house. So you have a house here. On the far side of the house. At the northern end of the larger lake. So you have two lakes here, one, and we have another lake here too. We know the compass point north is already here. So at the northern end of the larger lake. So because there are two lakes given, which one? Because northern end of this lake would be maybe D. So northern end of the larger lake would be B, right? What else? To the northeast of the house near the smaller lake. To the northeast of the house, this is a house, so there is this point again, reference point, and to the northeast, to the northeast of the house. So we go north and we go to the east, near the smaller lake. So again, these cardinal points that we have the north, we have the east, we have the west and the south. So this would be northeast, this would be southeast, this is the southwest, and this is the northwest. So we should be aware of these directions as well. Or you can see woods on your left, the temple is right at the end. Woods on your left, the temple is right at the end. You can see how these words guide us through the map, and it also uses certain fixed locations or landmarks given in the map. For instance, here the words car park, old stables, house and lake are fixed locations. Clear? So let me introduce you to certain list of words that you should be aware of and be prepared for in IELTS listening. So the first category of words that I'm going to introduce you to are prepositions of place. What are these words? Inside and outside, we have in front of or behind, next to, by, beside, alongside, near, close to, at the front or at the back of the building. For example, at the end of the path or at the end of the junction. Okay, at the end, at the top, at the bottom of the map. We already saw an example. In, on, at the corner, between, opposite or facing the ocean, facing the lake, below. These are some prepositions of place that you should be prepared with. Now the points on compass, the cardinal points to the north, to the south, to the east, to the west of the river, the forest, the garden. On the north, south, east, west side, that's another possibility. In the northwest. Now we say most often in the north when we talk about a larger area. Okay, in the northwest of the country or the southeast corner. On the northern, southern, western side, maybe of a building. On the northern side, because we know a building already faces, it has an entrance. So when we say on the northern side of the building, it is very clear which is the north. Now we normally use words like to and towards for moving directions, right? So it is not a fixed north as such. It depends on how we move. So these are points on compass that you should be prepared with. We also have ways of saying left and right, to your left, to your right, on the left, on the right, on the left hand side, right hand side. These are some words that you should be familiar with, and also words to show movement. For example, it says go straight ahead or straight on, go north, go past, go along, over the bridge, across the bridge, right to the end, towards the river, or it also might say head north, head northeast. Instead of go north or go straight, it could also be head northeast. Or continue, keep going until you get to, maybe until you get to the end of the road. Or it might say take, for instance, take the first left, take the second turning on your right, take the third footpath, turn left or right just before a place, right? Turn right before the library. Clear? So these are some of the words that you will listen to when solving a map. So let's try using these words and see how we can solve a map, shall we? So here is a question on screen for you.
Now listen and answer questions 15 to 20.
The sheep market is one of the main centres for art and history in the whole of the country. If you look at our map, you'll see some of the main attractions there. Most visitors start from Crawley Road at the bottom of the map. The Reynolds House is one of the oldest houses in the city and is open to the public. It's on the north side of Crawley Road, next to the footpath that leads to the public gardens. The area is particularly interesting for its unusual sculptures. The thumb is just what its name suggests, but it's about 10 metres high. You'll see it on Hill Road, across the road from the bank. The museum's got a particularly fine collection of New Zealand landscapes. It's on the east side of the sheep market, on City Road. It's on the other side of the road from the public gardens, immediately facing the junction with Hill Road. The Contemporary Art Gallery is on a little road that leads off Station Square, not far from the public gardens. The road ends at the gallery. It doesn't go anywhere else. That's open every day except Mondays. The Warner Gallery specialises in 19th century art. It's on City Road, near the junction with Crawley Road, on the same side of the road as the public gardens. It's open on weekdays from 9 to 5 and entry is free. Finally, if you're interested in purchasing high-quality artwork, the place to go is Nucleus. You need to go from Crawley Road up through Station Square and east along Hill Road until you get to a small winding road turning off. Go up there and it's on your right. If you get to City Road, you've gone too far.
Now, how was it? Did you notice what I did when listening to the audio? I marked all the main landmarks or already marked areas. I'm using them as my reference point. And you see, it doesn't start from Crawley Road and it doesn't take a particular order. There are times when it refers to Hill Road all of a sudden. So you go to Hill Road and then you follow the directions that are mentioned. So there are certain references to Station Square, there were references to the public garden, and this is exactly what you need to do as you listen to the audio. Use your pen and pencil and start following the instructions. If it says go north, draw the line to the north. If it says just off, opposite, whichever road is mentioned, follow that path. Draw it using your pen and pencil, and that will easily help you identify the answers to the question. So hope this the tips that I've shared in this video today has been helpful. Okay. So hope that the tips that I've shared in the video today have been helpful and that you will definitely try these out while solving a map in listening. So stay tuned with us for more such videos. Thank you.
Medcity International Academy. Trusted hands forever.